Today is a travel day and it's incredibly windy today too. We spent a couple nights here at Roper State Park and it's been really nice. It's a beautiful park, but this was just kind of a quick stopover for us just to get used to travel again after that 4 months of not traveling. And then we're going from here to some BLM land. And the really good thing about this, the dry camping, is we're going to get to try out our new Watt Cycle lithium batteries. This is going to be the first real test. We did a couple dry tests when we were at Kartchner. I just wanted to make sure that they really did work. So we shut off the breaker, the 50 amp breaker that was supplying us power, and it did. We were able to go for a couple of days. So this will be the longest. We're going to be three nights at Lewis Canyon, and we'll see what that's like. Now, we're going up quite a bit in today's travels. We're going to be changing elevation, and I've checked the weather. It's kind of near Show Low, Arizona, and it's considerably cooler than here. We're going to get down into the 30s, the upper 30s at night. So it'll be good. We'll be able to use our furnace and stay warm. And anyway, so a little trepidation today on the travel because of the wind and the elevation change. It's really going to be a good trial for our F-150 with the Maxtow package and see how it does going up that elevation that we're going to go today. It's going to be actually the steepest elevation that we've ever driven since we've had this combination of our 28-foot Airstream and our half-ton pickup. We've been using these chain socks from Rich and Cindy at Love Subbin', and they've been great. And being in Arizona, you know, we're always a possibility of fire, and hopefully this is showing up in the video. I think these have really done their job. It looks to me like we've scraped them up just a little bit. So thanks, Rich and Cindy, for the chain socks, keeping our chain safe and keeping the Arizona landscaping safe too.
Oh, mercy me, oh, mercy mine. Down on my knees, I got my arms stretched to the sky. Trouble to the left of me, sorrow to the right. Can you hear me, Lord, and can you lead me to the light? I lift my voice, I call your name, as I toil down in this valley of strife and pain. I've been over backwards, paid it all forwards, don't have a dime to my name, and my debt to you could never be repaid. When the heat wave starts to break and the ice and snow melts away, when the tears we've cried have all run dry and we find the rainbow's end, we'll be walking in the sunshine with him.
Are hot. We've come down quite a mountain and we're stopped at the Salt River, and there's a Salt River rest stop right here. We kind of had to pull off.
Yeah, thank goodness there's a rest area. There's switchbacks, and we down, and the what was it? The
brakes.
Well, what did the
the truck said cruise control not available, because I'll let the brains in the truck actually control some of our descent. It'll downshift. We were in second gear most of the time coming down, but then it said, we decided to pull off on the rest stop, it said cruise unavailable, brakes need to cool down.
Yeah.
And they're pretty hot.
I got out and you could smell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're hanging out for a minute and looking at the beautiful view and letting it cool off a little.
Yeah.
Because we are not through it. We've got a lot of the switchback left.
Yeah, I think it's going to be uphill from here, not downhill. So we probably won't have as much braking issue, but probably a little gas mileage issue.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But the truck's doing great. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Hey highway, what do you
explain what you're doing here?
I am actually using the manual shift mode in the truck. So I'm actually shifting gears to control our descent, to help keep the brakes a little cooler, instead of relying on the cruise control to control the braking and the shifting. I'm actually manually shifting the truck and controlling our descent a little more.
Now, do all trucks have that option?
I believe most modern trucks are going to have some type of a manual override on it. I know this does. Our Ford does have the max tow package, and so it does have the larger brakes and everything with it. But the transmission is geared for towing. But having the manual overriding really helps. But very much keeping an eye on all my gauges as far as oil pressure and temperature and everything.
And how does it seem like it's doing?
It's doing great. Our transmission is not overheating at all, so it's running great. Our oil pressure is good. Engine temperature is good. And I made sure that we filled up with gas before we left, so we have plenty of fuel. But, so it's working out really good. But yeah, with that 10-speed transmission, I can either manually shift or I can lock out some of the higher gears and help bring that shifting down. But right now I'm in full manual mode, keeping the brakes as cool as possible.
It's a great feature.
Yeah.
We love our truck.
Weather service forecast for the White Mountains, including the cities of Sholo, Greer, and Pinetop. Today, cooler, mostly cloudy, a chance of thunderstorms and snow showers. Snow accumulation up to 1 inch. Snow level 7,500 feet. Highs around 40
Reading books and sipping coffee. I forgot how much I love getting lost in words. It took us a while to get here. Took the world falling apart. But maybe we needed to take a step back to remember how lucky we are. It's like time.
So you think about snow?
We're not supposed to be where there's snow.
Against our will, we're finally sitting still and savoring the days before they're gone. I wonder how it took us this long.
I guess the NOAA weather was true to their word. There's a little bit of snow happening out there. We left Michigan so we didn't have to deal with this kind of thing.
Against our will, we're finally sitting still and savoring the days before they're gone. I wonder how it took us this long. This long.
We're at Lewis Canyon and we're dry camping for 3 nights here. And that's part of what we're assessing is how good are those Watt Cycle batteries that we installed in the Airstream. What we're hoping is that this can get us through 3 nights of dry camping like this. And this is going to be critical on our route that we're going from southern Arizona all the way up to Oregon to Crater Lake. The way I've routed us, every other stop, we're going to be dry camping. So the stops in between, we'll be able to plug in and recharge our lithium batteries. But the ones in between, we're going to be dry camping. And again, one of the main reasons we're doing that is to save money. You know, campgrounds have gotten fairly expensive, but this is our first big test for these Watt Cycle batteries. And I just checked the app on basically one night. So we've been here about not quite 24 hours since we've gotten here. Our batteries are at about 60%. I've run the inverter once, and basically that was to charge up the laptop. I had to finish editing a video and get it all set. There is no good cell signal here whatsoever, so I won't be able to upload anything from here. We don't have Starlink or anything like that. Everything we're doing, in fact, we've given up on the T-Mobile router. I turned it back into T-Mobile. When we were in Arizona, the two towers that we were close to were both down, and they could give us no time frame when it was going to be up, and I couldn't pause the service, so I just canceled it, knowing that Starlink is in our future. So we've been hotspotting off our AT&T phones, and that's been working. Kind of old school way to do this. But I am getting a little concerned that we're going to be able to make the full time here with these two lithium batteries. It may be a little bit undersized because we've got no real way to charge them here. We don't have any solar on the rig, and we don't have a generator. So we're relying solely on the stored energy in those lithium cells. So it's a reminder and a wake-up call to check everything before you go on a trip. I thought I had everything detailed before we left Kartchner for this long journey. We're on the way, all the way up to Crater Lake. One thing I never did check was to make sure that the LP on our fridge was working, because every other one of our stops on this route is boondocking, is dry camping, just like we're doing here. And for some reason, every now and then, this is shutting off, and I've just got to really keep my eye on this to make sure that the LP is staying lit and keeping the fridge cool. We noticed at first the fridge was actually at 52 degrees, and that shook us up quite a bit. And I went out and took it apart. I can't see anything wrong with it, but there's got to be either some cobwebs or a bit of dust or something going on in there. If you know anything about the LP on these kind of fridges, that's really not in my current wheelhouse of stuff that I know a lot about, hey, leave me a comment, because I really am looking for some advice to make sure that this stays going, because keeping frozen food and our food cold in the fridge is pretty critical for us. I just checked our batteries. We've been here 2 nights now, and at this boondocking site that we're at, and we've got one more night to go, and one of the batteries is at 24% power about, and the other one is about at 18. It got cold here, pretty unanticipated cold. In fact, it was down, what was it, Michelle? It was down to what, 30. In the 30s? Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the 30s last night. So the furnace has been running a lot, and that blower takes a lot of power. I'm pretty convinced that if we didn't have to have the furnace going, we'd be just fine one more night. But I'm concerned enough. There's a couple other people here on the BLM land, and a couple of them said they have a generator we could borrow. So I'm going to go borrow a generator for a little bit, just bring the batteries up a little bit for a couple of hours, and just to be absolutely sure. Actually, for you, I'd be happy to run the batteries all the way to 0 to see how well these Watt Cycle lithium batteries do. But the issue is tomorrow's a travel day, and it's a pretty critical travel day for us. We're traveling from here to Winslow, Arizona. I hear there's a corner there to look at, but it's a critical travel day that we have to make, and we're on a schedule in order for us to get up to Crater Lake, where there's 9 feet of snow, in the time we're supposed to be there. So I want to make sure the jack works. That's a critical item to make sure we can hook up and head out tomorrow. So I'm going to borrow that generator and get our batteries up just a little bit, just to be certain we're safe.
I call to the mountain, sitting across the bay. Morning comes always steadier than yesterday. I'll take the stillness as a sign to write a song about things we've done and the things still to come.
Well, I think it's time for us to head out from this spot, and especially we're going to try to leave a little bit early. Well, it's time for us to pack up and move out to our next site, which we're going to have electric hookup, which is a good thing because our fridge has stopped working on propane. Oh, that was the issue. I had mentioned that earlier, that the for some reason, it just isn't staying ignited. And now it's going, and I can hear it. I can hear the tick start where it starts to ignite, and then a poof sound near where the flame is, and then it goes out, and then it'll poof again. So it's trying to ignite. There's something going on that's keeping that from happening. So we've just made the determination we're just going to head out. We're about 2 hours from the campground where we're going. Hopefully they'll let us in early and we can plug in, get the fridge cool, and then I can actually start troubleshooting and assess it from that location.
I call to the mountains sitting across the bay. Morning comes always steadier than yesterday. I'll take the stillness as a sign to write a song about things we've done and the things still to come.
I do want to show you something right here that might be a genius idea, and one of the other campers here had this idea. And Tom, if you're watching this, thank you so much, because you actually gave me this idea. So if we ever have the situation again where this doesn't fire, let's open it up and look in here. As you can see, the fridge is plugged into a circuit, and it's actually a GFCI circuit. So I might be able to run a second AC outlet in here from the inverter line, or change this one from the GFCI to the inverter. Then if we ever have this situation again, I can fire up the inverter, especially with the new Watt Cycle lithium batteries, and run the fridge via the inverter. So it'll be running on 110 power. I think it draws about 40 amps. So it's a bit of a heavy drain for it to run all the time, but that would get us through in an emergency. So I'm considering that pretty seriously. Let me know. What do you think of that? Getting set to hook. Let me trip this a little bit. There we go. We're getting set to head on out to, I was that problem pronouncing it, Homolovi State Park in Arizona, Winslow, Arizona. Michelle's grabbing the radios right now.
Sorry. I'm like, oh, it'd be easier to walk around and give it to him.
Radio check.
Go again.
Radio check.
Yeah, don't back up. Okay, clear.
Get it, alright. Oh, merciful radio energy. When I call, will you call back to me? Oh, merciful radio energy. Won't you hear my
That looks
call?
perfect. Okay, that should be it.
See me in the colorful light. Even when it comes, I'll be fading in time. Oh, weeds in one frame at a time. Gotta hold the lead to win if you get it. Oh, merciful radio energy. When I call, will you call back to me? Oh, merciful radio energy. Now we'll find our way back home again. Getting around again when it finally catches up again.
This truly is a gorgeous park. It is, I believe, run by the Bureau of Land Management. So it's National Park Service land. This is a group campsite, and it's crazy. You can reserve this entire group campground for $40. $40. Now, again, it is dry camping, so there's no hookups here whatsoever. You are out in the wilderness. There's no cell service to speak of here at all. But what a gorgeous thing. Oh, and if you have the America the Beautiful Pass, it's half price, $20 a day. You could fit 30, 50 campers in here probably if you're creative. and some tents as well. Quite a nice campground and place to be.
Go